Hi, Trevor. Thank you for submitting another writing piece for me to take a look at. I was really excited to see that you tried out informational writing this week, and I had a few things that I wanted to talk to you about so that you can start thinking about how you want to edit and make some revisions to this piece to add to it and make it even better. So, one thing I really liked about your piece was that you chose to give information on a topic that not a lot of people might know about, and it actually had taught me something because I had never really read about the difference between custom home builders and private contractors. So I think that's awesome that you chose this topic because the purpose of an informational piece is to give information on a topic that others might not know about so they can learn more about that topic. And as your reader, I definitely learned more about your topic from your piece. One suggestion that I wanted you to think about, just thinking about focus again and what you want your reader to get out of your piece. In your first paragraph, as you definitely introduce your topic in an interesting way, it seems almost as if you are trying to convince a potential home buyer to go with a custom home builder instead of a private contractor, as if you're trying to persuade them to make that decision. And then going into your second paragraph where you give the steps it would take for someone to become a successful custom home builder, it seems like now you're almost speaking to people who would be thinking about actually becoming a custom home builder as a career. So what I wanted you to think about is whether you want your audience for this informational piece to be someone who's thinking about hiring a custom home builder, or do you want your audience to be someone who might be thinking of going into a career in this area? Because I think deciding on who your audience is important because it'll determine how you're presenting your information. For example, if you are choosing your audience to be someone who's thinking of going into a career in this area, which it sounds like from your second paragraph, then in your first paragraph, as you're introducing what the job of a custom home builder is, you might want to word certain areas as if you're speaking directly to someone who's thinking about this career. For example, when you say to successfully build your dream house, you need to hire a custom home builder. Following this, you might want to talk about why this is such a needed career or job, because that is a statement that would be convincing to someone who's thinking of going into this field versus a sentence like a custom home builder caters to your needs and are available with one phone call, because that almost seems like you're speaking to someone who's looking to hire a custom home builder versus someone who's maybe thinking of going into that field as their career. One other thing I noticed as I was reading through your piece is that I really liked the sequence of steps that you give in your second paragraph as you're sharing information about the job of a custom home builder. I think that these steps are very clear, and that's definitely a strong feature of an informational piece, to give information about a topic in a specific order. And if your topic is what it takes for someone to become a custom home builder, then there definitely is a clear sequence of steps that person needs to take in order to step into that type of career. So one suggestion I had for you as you look back on this second paragraph is to think about how you can, within these steps, explain more about what each step involves. So I think you give a good outline here of you begin to give some specifics about what one would have to do at each step in order to become a custom home builder. Now going into a little more detail by explaining more about what you say after each step might be a good place to go from here. For example, when you say that in step 3 that that to be a knowledgeable home builder, you need at least 2 to 4 years of experience. I think that's an awesome opening statement. Now, what you might want to do following this statement to explain more is to explain what kind of experience would be best to be a successful home builder. Is there a certain part that they should study? For example, the planning phase more than others, or should they get an equal amount of experience with thinking about architecture, construction, the engineering aspect? What specific experience would best benefit someone who wants to be a successful custom home builder versus an unsuccessful custom home builder? I like that you make up here in your opening statement, you say that these are the steps to becoming a successful home builder. So I would definitely connect each of the steps and the points you make back into that key part of being successful and what one would have to do at each of these steps specifically to be successful in this field versus just an average or unsuccessful custom home builder. One last thing that I noticed was I liked how you did begin to give some very specific facts about what one would need to do in order to be a custom home builder. For example, they need 2 to 4 years of experience. I was wondering how much of that you knew from background knowledge, or did you actually go and look at some web and print sources in order to find that information? Because definitely in informational writing, there are parts that you can include as information that's general knowledge. When it gets to be in more specific details, if you do go to a web or a print source, it's important to say what the source is. So for example, according to, and then the author of the source's name, and then the information, just so if your reader can know if they want to know more about that specific fact you give, they know what other author to look up, and you're also giving credit to the source where you got the information. If you haven't looked at any other sources yet, any web or print sources for information for your informational writing piece this week, I would definitely suggest going and looking up some sources, and that would be a great place to help to gather some more details in order to explain more about what it takes at each step to be a successful custom home builder. So I would definitely look up some more information on that as you're editing and revising so that you can elaborate on some of the steps you give and add more specific facts about each step. And then again, to cite your source, to give credit to the original author, even if you're just taking the idea and you're going to put in your own words, just saying according to and then the author's name is a simple way to give credit to where you got that information from. So please let me know if you have any questions. I also explained my comments in the margins to the right of your paper. You can comment under them to ask questions, comment back any ideas, or if you find some sources and you want me to take a look at them and see what I think about them, you can definitely comment back, ask any questions, make any comments that you'd like, and let me know how things are going as you edit and revise this week. So good luck and have fun writing.